From the moment you open your eyes to the world, you begin to wear a mask. As a child, you learn quickly which parts of yourself are rewarded and which are punished. You discover that smiles earn affection, while anger earns rejection. You discover that silence keeps you safe, while truth can create conflict. So, slowly, you craft a version of yourself that others will accept. This version is not you, it is your mask. Carl Jung called it the persona, and he warned that while the mask may protect you, it also kills you, piece by piece. The persona is not inherently evil, it is necessary. You cannot walk into society naked and raw, carrying every impulse, every desire, every thought. The mask helps you navigate the world. It allows you to function. But the danger comes when you forget that it is only a mask. When the mask becomes fused to your skin, when you begin to believe that it is the whole of who you are, you begin to die. Think of how much of your life is spent maintaining appearances. The way you dress to impress, the way you speak to please, the way you hide emotions to seem strong. Every action carefully crafted to sustain the mask. The tragedy is that while the world applauds this performance, your authentic self suffocates underneath. Jung believed that this is why so many people feel an emptiness they cannot explain. They have mastered the art of pretending, but in the process they have lost themselves. The persona is seductive. It gives you approval, respect, even success. But the cost is high. You trade your truth for acceptance. You trade your depth for applause. You trade your soul for survival. And when you live too long in this mask, you risk forgetting that there was ever anything real beneath it. You risk becoming the mask itself. This is the dark psychology of identity. You may believe you are free, but as long as you are enslaved to your persona, you are only a character in someone else's play. 2. The danger of the persona is not that it exists, but that it grows stronger every time you deny your true self. Each time you silence your anger to avoid conflict, the mask thickens. Each time you fake a smile when you are drowning inside, the mask tightens. Each time you agree when you want to scream no, you hand over another piece of your soul. And over years, this process becomes invisible. You don't even realize you are wearing a mask because you've forgotten what your real face looks like. Jung believed that the persona is the most dangerous when it becomes comfortable. It gives you recognition. It gets you a job. It earns you friends. It even wins you love, or at least the illusion of it. But beneath these rewards lies rot, because people do not love you. They love the mask. They don't admire your authentic being. They admire your performance. And deep down, you know this. You feel it in the loneliness that never leaves, even when you are surrounded by people. You feel it in the gnawing emptiness after success, when the applause fades and the silence returns. The mask promises safety, but it delivers isolation. It promises belonging, but it builds a wall between you and the world. And worst of all, it kills the possibility of true connection. How can anyone truly know you if you never show them who you are? How can anyone truly love you if you never risk revealing your darkness, your flaws, your scars? This is why Jung warned that over-identification with the persona is a slow death, not the sudden death of the body, but the gradual erosion of the soul. You stop growing, you stop feeling, you stop living. You become a hollow figure, endlessly performing a role that society applauds while your authentic self withers in the shadows. And here lies the darkest truth. Most people never notice. They die with their mask on, believing until the very end that it was who they truly were. They never meet themselves. They never hear the voice beneath the mask. They never taste the freedom of authenticity. The persona saves you as a child, but as an adult, if you cling to it, it will destroy you. For Jung, the mask was never the full story. Behind the persona lives the shadow, the raw, unfiltered parts of yourself you were told to hide. The anger, the envy, the jealousy, the wild impulses, the truths that society declared unacceptable. These parts do not disappear simply because you wear a mask. They retreat into the dark, and there they wait. Every smile you fake, every polite nod, every silent agreement feeds the shadow. It grows in proportion to the persona, and one day, it will demand to be seen. This is the danger of masks. The stronger the mask, the darker the shadow. You cannot have one without the other. The more perfect you try to appear, the more monstrous the hidden self becomes. Jung warned that if you refuse to acknowledge the shadow, it will eventually erupt, in rage, in breakdown, in addiction, in self-destruction. You think the mask keeps you safe, but in reality, it makes the shadow more dangerous. Over time, this creates a war within you. The persona whispers, "Be polite, be liked, be acceptable." The shadow whispers, "No, be real, be raw, be whole." And caught between these two voices, your spirit suffers. You feel the strain of pretending, the exhaustion of hiding, the shame of desiring something forbidden. The world applauds the mask, but your soul cries out for the truth. This is why Jung insisted on the work of individuation, the painful process of tearing away the mask and facing the shadow. It is not easy. It is terrifying. But it is the only way to become whole. To remain trapped in the persona is to live half a life. To confront the shadow is to finally live as yourself. And if these words strike something deep inside you, if you feel the weight of the masks you've worn, the exhaustion of hiding, then take one small step toward authenticity today. Start here. Break the cycle. Don't just watch and disappear. Act. Prove to yourself that you are more than your hesitation. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because the journey into the shadow has only just begun. To tear away the mask is not an act of rebellion against society. It is an act of loyalty to your own soul. Jung knew that we need the persona to survive in the world. You cannot walk into your job screaming your deepest desires. You cannot reveal every thought, every impulse to strangers. The persona is a tool, but the tragedy comes when you mistake it for your identity. You are not the tool. You are the one who wields it. The path forward is not to destroy the persona, but to put it in its rightful place. To recognize, this is not me. This is the mask I wear to move through the world. And once you make this distinction, you begin to sense the real self behind it. The voice that has been silenced, the desires that have been buried, the truths that have been denied. But freedom is not painless. Jung warned that facing the shadow means confronting everything you have hidden. It means acknowledging the anger you suppressed, the envy you denied, the fears you buried. It means admitting that the polite, acceptable version of you is only half the story. Most people never dare to do this. They cling to the persona because it feels safe, even as it strangles them. Yet safety is an illusion. The persona may shield you from rejection, but it also shields you from intimacy. It may protect you from conflict, but it also robs you of passion. It may earn you applause, but it steals your authenticity. To live in the persona is to live a carefully curated half-life. To confront the shadow is to live fully, even if it means risking judgment, rejection, or pain. This is why Jung believed that the true task of adulthood is individuation, becoming whole. It is the painful integration of persona and shadow, the courage to admit that you are both light and darkness. Only then can you live authentically. Only then can you be free. The question is, will you continue polishing your mask, or will you dare to remove it and finally see who you are beneath it? The greatest tragedy is not that you wear a mask. It is that you forget you ever had a face beneath it. You become the role you play, the polite smile, the professional voice, the agreeable friend, the reliable partner. All the while, the real you waits in silence, suffocating, desperate to breathe. Jung's warning was clear. If you refuse to confront this truth, the mask will consume you. You will live your life admired by others but unknown to yourself. But there is hope. The moment you begin to see the mask for what it is, you weaken its hold. The moment you dare to listen to the voice of the shadow, you step closer to authenticity. And authenticity is not perfection. It is raw, unfiltered humanity. It is the courage to be flawed, to be rejected, to be real. The world may not always applaud this version of you, but at least it will be you. And that is worth more than any applause. Jung believed that freedom comes not from destroying the persona, but from balancing it with the shadow. You will always need a mask to walk in society, but the mask should be your servant, not your master. The real danger is when you forget the difference. When the mask becomes your identity, you are lost. But when you wear it consciously while staying rooted in your authentic self, you become whole. So ask yourself, who are you when the mask falls away? Who are you when no one is watching? Who are you in the silence of your own mind? That is the self you must reclaim before it is too late. And if these words resonate with you, if you feel the weight of the masks you've worn, then take a small step now. Break the cycle. Don't just watch this video and disappear into the crowd. Prove to yourself that you can act without hesitation. Subscribe, like, and turn on the bell, because this journey into the darkest corners of the self is just beginning. But remember, if the persona is the mask that hides your truth, then shame is the chain that keeps you from ever removing it. And in the next video, we will explore how shame manipulates you, controls you, and how to finally break free from its grip before it destroys your life.